let's cut the BS. If you take a look at LinkedIn right now to see the list of requirements for a junior role at test automation, you will see something resembling a wish list for a NASA architect. You will see programming languages, Java, Python, TypeScript, whatever. You will see Jenkins, Kubernetes, Docker. You will see Cypress, all these things tangled up together. It creates noise, it creates panic, and most of all, it just keeps you stuck in your tracks. It keeps you stuck with manual testing because you believe that you don't have it in you in order to learn everything that's needed in order to start actually automating tests. But today, I am giving you a filter. We will cut right through the hype and I will provide you 5 concrete specific milestones that you need to hit in order to be able to kickstart your test automation career this very year. So grab your notebook or grab whatever you need to collect your ideas and let's dive right in. I'm Casper, welcome to Testeroni, where I help QA engineers become test automation engineers one slice at a time. Milestone 1, the DOM and locators. So don't rush to install Python yet, don't install VS Code yet. I know that it's tempting, I know that it's usually the first step that the newcomers take in order to start the automation journey, but automation is simply telling a robot how to carry on with a specific test, what it needs to do, what it needs to click, what it needs to look at. It's just telling a robot what to do. But if you don't understand what's under the hood, if you don't understand the web, the HTML, if you don't know what an ID or a class is, and you don't know how to utilize them in order to tell the robot what to actually target, you are doing yourself a great disservice because you are trying to automate before you have the language and syntactic capacity to understand how to tell the robot what it actually needs to target. So your task for this milestone is to open up the developer tools, F12, and be accustomed to the view. The good news is I already have a full playlist on the channel with both longer masterclasses and shorter bite-sized lessons about how to handle locators and how to actually understand the DOM. So I really recommend you to go ahead and check it out, because if you can find an element with your own eyes and you are able to actually describe it for the machine to understand, you are already halfway there. The coding part is easy. Creating a stable locator is not. So you should start right here. Milestone 2, the language. Yes, you do need to code, but no, you don't need to be a software developer. To give you an analogy, in order to drive a car, do you need to know the inner workings of an engine? Do you need to know how to build a functional engine? No, you don't. You just need to know where the pedals are and where the wheel is and how to use them in conjunction with each other. And a similar thing goes for the programming, because you are not a software developer, you are a script writer. And of course, as time goes on, you will learn more and you will be better at it. But to start off, just pick one language, either Python for the ease of use or TypeScript for the marketability. It's also easy, but I just have a preference for Python. But honestly, don't overthink it. Don't really think too much about it. Just pick one of those because they both go together well with any of the tools on the market, basically, that is tied to automation, and start the ball rolling. So focus on the fundamentals. Number 1, variables. So how to store data. Number 2, functions. So these are the verbs that the language is using. So how to provide some action, some repeatable action to the computer. And number 3, loops and conditionals. So if this happens, then do that, or repeat these steps a couple of times. These 3 foundations are your milestone. And this is going to be 90% of your daily work. Don't get intimidated by all the computer science concepts and all these computer science gurus who tell you how to become the next backend developer, because that's not what you're trying to do. You're actually losing your momentum and enthusiasm by staying too long within this milestone. Master the fundamentals in order to be able to kind of give power to the script in order to have the ball rolling, but don't really focus on that too much. Step 3, the tool. In 2026, we stop fighting the tools, thankfully, because many of you may have the wrong idea about the test automation frameworks. You have probably started with Selenium some time ago and you became quickly discouraged. And rightfully so, because many of you have probably been fighting for 3 days to set up a driver with Selenium. So of course it was intimidating and of course it made you feel not adequate for the job. But thankfully now we have newer tools like Playwright, which are both popular within the industry and are actually good to learn because they actually alleviate the headache that you usually have with other tools. It installs with one command. It automatically waits for elements. Yeah, I know, that's mind-blowing. It just gives you quick, easy wins which you need in the beginning of your journey. And of course, it may be that the first job you land is not going to be with Playwright, but the important thing, just like with the language, it's not which tool you start with and it's not which language you start with. Just start with one, understand the concepts, and they will translate really easily to the other ones. And Playwright gives you the opportunity to not fight with the system from the get-go. It allows you for those easy wins which you need in the beginning in order to actually gain traction. And Playwright gives you that. So if you ever need to make a jump to another tool in the future, you'll do it with no problem whatsoever because you will already understand the underlying mechanics and it'll be all the easier to go from Playwright to Selenium than starting out with Selenium only to wait for the redemption that Playwright will give you. So I really recommend starting with Playwright, and your task for this milestone is to go to the tutorial, go to the quick start guide and automate an easy test case. Automate just going to a website, logging in, seeing the welcome message, clicking a button, something that gives you this quick rush of dopamine, because as soon as you see the browser actually moving to your command, you will instantly get hooked and you will understand this whole test automation ordeal. You will sit in flesh and you will be the actual architect behind the moving parts. Milestone number 4, and this is what separates the juniors from the professionals: architecture. You need to understand the page object model, plain and easy, because anyone can write a script that works once, but can you write a script that is actually easy to maintain? That won't be a pain in the ass further down the line. So can you actually do that? And the page object model is the industry standard for that. And it may sound scary, but it's not scary at all. There is a separate video about that where I actually go in depth about explaining what it does, what it is, and how you should conceptualize this. So I really recommend you go watch this after this video. But it's basically kind of a paradigm that separates the logic from the variables. So you have your tests in one place, your selectors in another place, and some helper functions if you need them in another place. That's it. It's like sorting your laundry. It's really not complicated, but you need to know it because this will be the foundation on which you build your tests and your frameworks. The page objects model is the shield that kind of defends you from the spaghetti monster that your framework is going to become if you don't know it. Because if you don't follow any set of rules for maintenance of your scripts, you are going to earlier or later, rather earlier than later, end up with something resembling a bowl of spaghetti, and you don't really want that within your code. So learn it early and be sure to really understand that, because A, it's not hard, B, it's an industry standard, and C, it's something that the interviewers really love to ask about. You are going to be asked about the page object model during your technical interview. I guarantee you that. If someone looks at your GitHub, you have some kind of project there, they will check if it adheres to the page object model. And if they talk to you during the interview, they will ask about it and try to see if you have any set of rules that you actually follow when you create a framework. And the page object model is the gold standard, so be sure to understand that. And number 5, the accelerators, the modern era tools. So first of all, understanding the basics, because you don't need more to get started, of CI/CD, so continuous integration and continuous deployment, to be able to know what it actually is. So I really recommend you to go to GitHub Actions and get started with it, to be able to run your tests not only locally on your machine, but also to be able to set up a pipeline so that they run in the cloud, so that they run independently of your machine. And you are going to stumble upon CI/CD tools everywhere you go. Any organization uses them. So I will recommend you to go take a look. You might come across Jenkins in your organization rather than GitHub Actions, for example, but I recommend GitHub Actions for the ease of use that will provide to you and the quick, easy wins. And the second thing within this milestone is, of course, AI. It's a big topic nowadays. Yes, you should be able to utilize LLMs, but not in order to become afraid of being replaceable, but in order to have them as your personal typist. So, back in school, using a calculator was sometimes called cheating, but using LLMs today is not cheating, it's called efficiency, and you need to become best friends with the chatbot of your choice. So you should be able to lean onto AI in order for it to provide you some syntax tips, for example, so that you don't need to memorize the whole documentation, and in order to help you with some boilerplate code so that you don't need to carry it in your head and clutter your mind. So yeah, you should be the architect for the AI, but you should still be knowledgeable enough so that when AI provides you something, you know if it's not hallucinating. So I am not by any means recommending you to just happily go forward thinking that the AI will do all the heavy lifting. It'll do a lot of the heavy lifting, and it'll be able to be your aid in many tedious tasks, of course, but you still need to be able to verify it. So yes, you need to get familiar with it, but you also need to be knowledgeable enough to be able to verify if it's not hallucinating gibberish. So there you have it. Milestone 1, DOM. Milestone 2, Python or TypeScript. Don't overthink it. Milestone 3, Playwright. Milestone 4, understanding the architecture, so the page object model. And milestone 5, getting accustomed to the new tools like GitHub Actions and the AI. And there you have it. I know it may seem like a lot, but if you just take it one step at a time, your journey towards becoming a test automation engineer becomes inevitable. You already have the QA mindset. You just lack the tools in order to be able to express it within automation. You don't need a PhD, you just need to write one ugly test, and I just want you to do that. Just go ahead and write one ugly test as soon as you can. It won't be pretty, it won't be perfect, but we all started there. It will get the ball rolling, and that's what we are trying to achieve here. The good news is that I have already covered most of the things that I am recommending here on the channel. So be sure to like, subscribe, and explore the library of the videos on the channel if you want to walk that path with me. I just want you not to be afraid of what is ahead of you, because this is a hell of an exciting ride. And so just remember that you are smart enough to find the bugs that the developers missed. So you are definitely smart enough to be able to automate that process. So don't overthink it. I will link to the playlist about locators down under the video in the description. Go ahead, open up that playlist, hit F12 to open the DevTools in your browser, and start building your first locator, because your journey to becoming a test automation engineer becomes right here, right now. And I will see you in the next video, and hopefully by that time you will already be hooked to that whole test automation endeavor. Until then, take care, and please remember to keep on rocking.